Good morning from St. John's, Newfoundland. It's my pleasure to actually be invited to speak about the Etta St. John Wileman Award. Many years ago, through a historical project that the Counselling Foundation of Canada did, we discovered this individual called Etta St. John Wileman. She was a pioneer in the early 1900s in Canada. Not unlike those people in Boston and others throughout the world who discovered vocational education at the time, early 1900s. I will tell you, it was one of those pivotal moments for me as the founding editor of the Canadian Journal of Career Development to say we should have an award that recognized equity, diversity, and inclusion, but also a pioneer in Canada that was unrecognized up at that point. And Etta St. John Wileman, and you can go back and recognize her achievements, but there was two things that stood out for me. One was, she said that unemployment was not a personal failability. So you weren't unemployed because of your personal circumstances. You weren't unemployed because you didn't have an opportunity or the ability to be employed. The second thing that she did was push for a federal concept that the government of Canada, government of the Dominion, government of Canada, had a personal ability. When I said personal ability, I mean they had a responsibility to actually support people who were unemployed. You know, I was a recipient of that 90 years later when I worked at the Canada Employment Centre on campus. And the federal government stepped up to that. But Etta St. John Wileman was that person that pushed that. She also said, unequivocally, that parents had an involvement in their children's career development. When you think of all the research that's occurred over the last 100 years, I think that's an incredible conversation to have with people in Canada. And here we are still having the conversation today. We have moved forward with a conversation about equity, diversity, and inclusion when it comes to the Etta St. John Wileman Award. And it's about not just people who have been in career development their whole careers. It's not just about academics. It started as part of the Canadian Journal of Career Development. That's moved forward now. But part of it is our ability to recognize individuals who have been influential in what we call this beautiful profession called career development. And I think that we could do no better honor for Etta St. John Wileman than to reflect on what that means from an equity, diversity, inclusion, and Indigenous lens, but to actually step back and say, who are the people who influence us in career development? And I think we will honor Etta St. John Wileman. We will honor her memory. We will honor the work she did and all the work each and every one of you do on a daily basis. It's incredible. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything you do for people throughout this country.